Yeah, so I have this documentation down here. I'll show you generally what it is. If I can get this over here. Right, so here's our documentation where we've got the index MD, that's the one we're looking at right here. Then there's the architecture section, principles section, getting started section, and each one has, right, each section has their own MD file in there. There's about 60 of these, I guess, and they are all done. I have them here. Alright, so here's your architecture right there. There's your principles right there. Getting started should be someplace here. Alright, components. So yeah, these are all set up now. This shouldn't say docs index. I should just knock this down to index. But in any case, that's the way that is set up. Now I have my my Google Chrome, Markdown reader. You can come in here to your extensions and you can add that extension. The only thing you have to remember is that you have to have this allow access to your URL files here, because it's on my my file URLs. It's on my desktop, so I have to make sure that's enabled, and then everything works. Then you just drag the first one in. But I did down here. I actually gave here are all the files in order, right, of how they're supposed to be, kind of, how they're supposed to be accessed. And all I did here was I just went to these are all the elements inside there. And if you want to see data flows, for example, you got to go to there to see the data flows, and then you just click back twice to get back to the index, docs underscore index. So this is going to be a good read. Like I said, it's about 60 pages. Most of them are pretty short, but some of them are pretty technical. Like for example, if we get into the models, right? So we've got causal inference model, explainability model, logistics and forecast model, reinforcement learning model, and simulation. This is where you're going to do your digital twin simulations and stuff like that. And causal inference, yeah, so do why, that's for simple causal questions. If we want to get some more powerful libraries, and that's for when you do your, your directional acyclical graphs or your DAGs here. But the much more powerful, neural network causality comes with your stats models here. And so I would normally use stats models to establish my causal inference, and then here I would use this to, for my DAGs. But in any case, some of these are more complex than others. Do have links to these down here. Statistical analysis where a lot of this happens, actually. So, but anyway, this is a guide. It's part of a much larger. I didn't say larger, but it's part of a much more careful addressing of the development. So right here you'll see that I do have two teams running, and they're running in tandem with each other, because it just strengthens the team to have everybody doing their thing. But phase 0 is the foundation and the core initial setup. So this is the setting up the Kubernetes on the Google Kubernetes Cloud Engine. Then Kafka messaging and schema registry. So those schemas are going to be critically important for the level of processing that we're doing. Like, it's a long data processing pipeline, and the data that comes into the system at the beginning really has to do all of its morphology without dropping the schema by the time it gets to the other end. That's a feedback loop, So secrets management are in Vault on the Kubernetes engine, and then IAC using Terraform, and then the CI/CD foundation. So we're just using GitLab. Yeah, and then observability core. So this is again the PLTG on Google Cloud using Prometheus mostly, Loci, Tempo, Grafana. Grafana is going to be important. Yeah. So then security-based configuration, schema governance, and deliverables. And that is a 2-month build with 2 teams. Well, no, it should be 1 month with 2 teams, but 2 months with 2 months considering you got 2 teams running on it. So I do have quite a much more granular description of what has to happen here. But back to here, these are the what do you call it? These are the documents for the project. So I will zip these and send them over, and you guys can, when you really can't sleep, this will knock you out.